Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Yuningtyas Harjuni and I'm student of English Education Study Program 5th semester. And today I'm gonna explain about figurative language. So the first I would like to explain the definition of figurative language. The definition of figurative language is a phrasing that goes beyond the literal meaning of words to get a message or point across. There are several types of figurative language. I would like to explain you about 14 types of figurative language. So here are the common types of figurative language. First is simile. What is simile? Simile is a figure of speech that compares two separate concepts or things and use connecting words such as like or as. For example, I felt as high as a kite. She is busy as a bee. Her hair was as golden as the sun. That's the example of simile. Next is metaphor. A metaphor is like a simile, but without connecting words. It's simply that two separate things are the same. For example, his eyes were eyes. She cried the river of tears. She was the shining star of the talent show. The third is personification. What is personification? Personification is when an object which is not alive is given human qualities. For example, my car is really beauty. The words slip off the page. Time marches on. And the fourth is hyperbole. Hyperbole is a term which uses an exaggeration to add a more dramatic meaning to the sentences. For example, I have a million things to do today. My back weighs a ton. Next is a paradox. Paradox is a figure of speech that appears to be self-contradictory but actually reveals something truthful. For example, you have to spend money to save it. What I have learned is that I know nothing. Things get worse before they get better. And the sixth is euphemism. Euphemism is a figure of language that designed to replace words or phrases that would otherwise be considered harsh, impolite, or unpleasant. For example, last night, Joe's grandfather passed away. Passed away, it means died. Young adults are curious about the birds and bees. Birds and bees, it's like sex. And I need to powder my nose. It means like go to the bathroom. And the seventh of the types of figurative language is metonymy. Metonymy is a figure of language that replaces certain words with similar meaning, used to describe something in an indirect manner. For examples, he buys a new Chevrolet. He drinks a glass of water. The pen is more mighty than those words. And the eighth of the figurative language is irony. Irony is certain reference to tell or say something with different meaning or not in literal meaning. For examples, come to my little hut. He is very diligent till he does not pass the test. You are very slim, whereas the fact is she or he very fat. Next is allusion. Allusion is when a text references another external text, or maybe a person, place, or event. It can be either explicit or implicit. For example, we've entered a garden of Eden. He studies all the time and is a regular instant. And tenth is lightheadedness. Lightheadedness is figure of speech which employs an understatement by using double negative, or in other words, a positive statement is expressed by negative. Its opposites expressions. For examples, I have nothing, only 10 cars and 3 houses. I wasn't unhappy to the gift. That dress is not too bad. That's the example of lightheadedness. And next, the 11th is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a figure of speech which expresses to relate to the whole. For example, is his word can be trusted. I won't let him come under my roof. And the 12th is allegory. Allegory is a work of art such as a story or painting in which characters, image, and or events act as symbols. The symbolism in an allegory can be interpreted to have a deeper meaning, and an author may use allegory to illustrate a moral or spiritual truth, or political or historical situation, and many else. Allegories can be understood to be type of extended metaphor. For example, like the story of the tortoise and the hare from Aesop fables. From the story, we learn that the strong and steady win the race. And next example of allegory is the story of Icarus. Icarus fashions wings for himself out of wax, but when he flies too close to the sun, his wings melt. The story is a message about the dangers of reaching beyond our powers. And the 13th is Plutonism. Plutonism is the repetition of an idea through words or phrases within the same members of sentences that mean the same thing. For example, I heard it with my own ears. I do care about you. And the last one is meiosis. Meiosis is the figurative language that given an impression that something is less important than it is or it should be. Meiosis examples sometimes used in the sense of synonym of lightheadedness. For example, I fear I'm not in my perfect mind. It cannot come to good. That's all of types of figurative language. I hope my material will be useful for you, and thank you for watching my video and listen carefully my explanation. If I have any mistake, please forgive me. And that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh!